Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're back this season, Season 16, UGC Platinum Highlander. And we're here week 1 with KND, the Kids Next Door, defending champions, taking on Muma and the Seamen, a.k.a. Bote Team. And I'm joined today by Sigafoo, Platinum Engineer. How are you today, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. Anytime I can get introduced as a platinum engineer, like that's a good day. That's a good day.
It's a title shared by a few of us.
Tom, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would argue that's a title shared by most, but I'll take some pride in it anyways. How you doing, Grizz, man?
I'm doing really well. You know, I'm always excited to see some Platinum Highlander. Super excited for this season with the round robin Platinum and some really tough competition. But you want to talk about what is different about this season in UGC?
Well, I believe you. So yeah, the round robin. Actually, I'm not completely familiar with that. I'm actually not playing this season, so I'm like not up to date with all of my UGC stuff. Is it just that every team is going to play every team one time, basically?
Yes, it is what a lot of Platinum players have been asking for over the last few seasons, but it's finally been implemented by the admins. 10 teams, 9 games during the regular season in which every team will play every other team.
Finally, like as a platinum engineer, that is like, I mean, it seriously is though. It's really messed up because like last season, I believe it was JK ended up like with the in the 7th spot. They barely got a playoff spot, and they were like hands down better than a couple of teams who are above them. But it's just purely because their schedule, they just got screwed over, and they just had to play all of the harder teams throughout the season. I don't know. I'm definitely looking forward to the round robin, making it a little bit more fair, and that stuff. And I mean, also just because we were kind of talking about this in pre, we're both excited because this is probably one of the most competitive seasons in Platinum in recent memory. The 4 big teams kind of coming out the gate are, you got KND, the defending champions, MTS, DK, who's coming back very strong out of gold, former Platinum players, and then what is the other one I'm thinking of? I can't remember. Ginyu. And then Bote's looking good. Like seriously, it's so many good teams out there who I think could make a shot for the top spot. I don't know. How do you feel about the season?
I'm truthfully very excited, mostly because this is the first season that I can think of where I honestly don't have somebody who I'm picking as the favorite. I think any of those 5 teams, if you told me they won the grand finals, I'd be like, interesting. Like KND, defending champions, obviously most people would suspect they're gonna go for the repeat. But DK, as you said earlier, just looking so solid, picking up Banny on Scout. For those of you who don't know, Banny has played demo in HL for quite a while, but has decided that he's going to play Scout this season, which has been a pretty impressive move. And he's just putting up some monster stats and gameplay. So kudos to him for making the switch and doing very well at it. What other players are you excited to kind of see this season in Highlander?
Yeah, I'm actually, I think kind of in general, just not a particular player, but I actually am excited for Bote. Just because I feel like they're a team that's kind of always been on the edge. Like they've always kind of just been like on that top 4, top 5, kind of back and forth and stuff like that. And I think this might be a year that they actually make a big difference. And kind of same with DK as well. I mean, obviously Banny, huge factor. It's actually funny. I was talking to you about this pregame, but I actually was like, I've played with Banny last season on Hateful Eight. Absolutely monster of a demo man, but I think the structure of demo man and Highlander doesn't quite suit his skill set 100% that I think Scout does, because I think he really wants to be aggressive as a demo man, but as with the sniper and spy kind of hold him back. And so DK picking him up, I think will absolutely help them out. And I think DK, they were in gold last season, and I think they, in my heart, right now, preseason, I think they have a very, very good chance, if not to win it all. But we'll see. KND obviously very strong competitors, but yeah, I don't know. I guess to answer your question, Bote would be the team in general. I'm kind of excited to see how they do this season.
Yeah, other teams that we kind of pushed aside there mentioned that they are contenders. MTS and Ginyu. Ginyu, of course, coming back. I believe it's Ginyu Hoops is their official name that Stabby and Paragon and Deadbolt have decided. But yeah, just the 3 names I said there: Stabby, coming back this season, maining alongside Max, who's just, an HL legend. Two great pick classes there, as well as, Paragon, Ash, Deadbolt, Dewatna, 404, Huey Lewis, Skag, like every single player on their roster is, top 3 plat. So we'll see. They are taking a little bit more of a lax approach. They're scrimming far less than the other top teams. So I think that if anything holds them back, it's going to be their lack of scrims.
Yeah, I think Guinea Hoops definitely has a chance this season to do something interesting. But I think, kind of being a part of teams like Guinea Hoops before, of just like where you have a lot of like kind of big names and people who don't practice as hard, I think KND has kind of shown like that, you can really overcome that with a good teamwork together. So Guinea Hoops, I mean, I think they definitely have something, and I think they can come together throughout the season. As you said, I think they're kind of taking a little bit slow as it is just a start. All it matters is getting that playoff seed and then going from there. But it'll be interesting to see if they can come together and they can become a really strong team, or if they will be just be like this kind of team that's, yeah, they're good, they have good DM, but they're not gonna win the title. And I think that's yet to remain to be seen on what they do with that. And MTS this year, how do you feel about MTS?
A big change that I don't know if a lot of people have heard yet, but or at least the rumor mill that is the Platinum kind of circle jerk has mentioned that I think Marissa might be gone for a little bit, as Chingu is replacing her on Sniper, or I think they might be changing that out, but they did switch Dill out for Lunaside, who, despite having 50 hours in Heavy, put up some of the craziest Heavy numbers I've ever seen in my life, like 24 and 3 in their scrim. So, I mean, he's very good. And the rest of their team, Giraffe, Harblu, very, very solid player. Giraffe kind of continuously showing that if you don't put him in check, he is going to just tear apart your team. Harblu also just obviously land quality player, great medic. And Akuma, probably the last difference maker I would throw out on that team. Just probably the best spy in the league right now.
He's good. I like Akuma. Like, I don't know. I think he's, if I can give like my personal opinion, which is I think he's a bit overrated in like his skill level, but I think he's an incredibly good spy, and it shouldn't be taken away from him. I think it's more that he's streaky. He reminds me of I'm trying to think of the name I'm thinking of. No, like a sniper. There's a sniper who's like, he's kind of like FaZe, in the sense that like he's very good, but he can also be streaky, where like he'll have games where he's not effective at all and he doesn't do anything for the team, and he'll have streaks where he's hitting every headshot and he's getting behind the team and all that different stuff. And I feel like he's not it's kind of an inconsistent spy in that way, but like when he's on, he's amazing and a god. When he's off, like he's kind of average. And I've kind of seen him at both sides of it. So I think like, I guess that's kind of how I'd put it, is like, he's very, very good, but I definitely think he can be a little bit streaky.
I would agree. I think it's hard to be super consistent as a Platinum spy, just with kind of how the meta has developed, where, every player is now like super spy aware. Like KND, I think kind of started this trend of just, it's not the Pyro's job to spy check, it's every single player. Like your Engineer has 5 spy kills at the end of the game, like your Heavy has 5 spy kills. So like those kind of numbers make it just more and more difficult for spies, and you see more and more going to this kind of Rolls-Royce, Akuma, feint style gameplay of just, gunning the crap out of the other team, just ambi headshots rather than going for stabs necessarily. So pretty interesting kind of shift there as far as what the spy's role has become, but still very potentially powerful pick class.
Yeah, absolutely. Some would say we're catching up to EU when it comes to spies, because I don't know, I forget his name offhand, but the TF2 center admin, he was making fun of, I think it was Metaway, was playing spy in a lobby, and he's getting like really pissed off because he kept backstabbing. It's like, spies don't backstab, spies are supposed to shoot. I don't know.
The core game mechanic is not supposed to be used. I would almost say it's come full circle. I think the meta has gone past EU and then come back to certain aspects of it. I mean, they're still playing with the heavy centric combo. At least Premtech has kind of messed with that a little bit with Bobby, and other teams are starting to switch it up. But overall, like, yeah, there's just a couple big meta changes in recent seasons, including kind of the pocket sniper, where you just keep your sniper at 185 all the time and just let him, kind of destroy the other team with all these powerful snipers now. You got Axiomatic, who, despite his accusations, is still just an all-around fantastic sniper. You got Max, of course, Dominant, Yosh, Corsa from last season, FaZe, like these big names that if you give them the heals, they're going to just put teams in the ground. So another pretty interesting shift there.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting. I mean, that's actually one of the things I'll be really curious about. I'm actually kind of surprised that the Razorback wasn't banned in the vote this year, but apparently people love their pocket snipers. They want to get that away.
They are ever so important. So, again, this season shaping up to be really, really entertaining. As you said, the top 5 teams, we are looking to start here. So, you want to go ahead and run down the KND roster, and I'll do it for Bote?
Yeah, I will attempt to do this. I'm trying to just make sure they have 10. Who's not on their team? I recognize everybody. Yosh isn't on the team, right?
Here, I'll show you the roster. But
you got the roster. Why don't you? Oh, yeah, actually, let me do that. Yeah, that's smart.
Until then, I will go ahead and run down the Bote roster for you, since I happen to know a little bit. But as far as Bote, you got Jufro coming in on Scout, pretty recent addition. Bobby, not Kresnik, playing Soldier. Geosis returning on Pyro for them. Muma playing Demo. Brick on Heavy. Link User making the transition from Scout to Engineer this season. Just in Time returning on Medic. Yosh on Sniper, replacing Corsa from last season. And Feint replacing Demento as well on Spy.
Yeah, so for Kids Next Door, I thought I had it correct. Okay, so got Corsa on Scout, actually making the transition from Sniper himself. Etney, the Soldier. Satan on Pyro. Jarrett on Demo. Kresnik, Bobby on Heavy. Ender on Engineer. Nursey on Medic. Scissor on Sniper. And Storm Arian, the ever so lovable Storm Arian on Spy.
And there you have it. The Platinum Champions return with only one roster change up. So chemistry still looked pretty solid there, whereas Bote has a few changes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of KND's actually had kind of the more, what do you want to call it, unusual in the fact that they actually have had so few roster changes, which I think actually works in their favor, kind of building a team. I mean, that's really what you want, is you want to have that consistency. And, if you're winning every season, like, why do you?
Yeah, why change it up? Of course, I mean, Corsa replacing Ibby. Ibby taking a break this season. Kind of coincidence that it ended up banning his favorite weapon in the Soda Popper. Obviously, there's no correlation. Still a great scout, but again, that was just a huge playmaker that KND lost. But Corsa, invite level DM, definitely not lacking in the scout department there for KND. Going up against Jufro, who's just pretty much the classic Highlander scout. I mean, he's risen up through the ranks, and he's done well at a platinum level. There's really not much else to say. He's very consistent, and he puts up good numbers and does good work for his team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm definitely curious to see Corsa. Obviously, as you said, I haven't seen him play a ton of Scout myself, but I've definitely felt a lot of his headshots, and I think that in many ways, because of the Soda Popper ban, I think that Corsa actually will be a better kind of pickup when it compared to Ibby in that sense, just because I think Ibby, very good scout when utilizing the Soda Popper. I think with a Scattergun, he's a little bit more iffy because he just tends to be a WM1 scout, which is like good if the other team can't handle it, but if the other team can, then it's like completely ineffective. Whereas I know Corsa, I mean, he's got crazy aim, and it'll be interesting to see if he can get into that role of a scout. I mean, I think, kind of coming in here as well, you get the classic battle, he's got to talk about the sniper. He's got Yosh versus Scissor. Definitely Yosh has risen through the ranks as well. He's been a long-time sniper in Highlander, and kind of bringing it together, and I think he's really stepped up to the plate, I don't know him that well, but I've known him for a little while, met him at LAN, and I mean, I'm definitely excited to see kind of him here in this big matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of mentioned this in my little preview I did over at UGC, nudge nudge viewers, but I really think that Feint and Yosh might be the most underrated pick class combo in Plat right now. They're they just have huge fragging potential. If Yosh goes off or if Feint goes off, that can easily be a round right there. Both of them just such impact players there for Bote. And if both of them are kept in check, I think it's going to be very hard for Bote to adjust and find ways to make plays in other areas. So I think that's kind of KND's key of the match as we start here. So setup time, KND taking on defense first. Oh, excuse me. Bote taking on defense first as KND chooses offense.
Interesting. KND choosing offense. I guess they just want to set that time. You know, it's pretty common for teams to want to choose defense first to be able to set the time because you have something to work against so you know how aggressive you need to be. But yeah, as we come in here, both of us also pure engineer cast. Me and Grizz here. It is.
Let's get on that engineer cam and see what he's doing. Kind of the new meta has been running mini sentry. So after our own Sigafoo himself did it a couple of times in seasons past, we finally see other engineers choosing to go the same way.
And just to kind of talk about why this is that a level 3 sentry gun in this point does not really cover a lot of area. And it's actually very easy to spam down, not only from projectiles, from snipers, but spies can easily get at it because there's a lot of different points of access. And so mini sentries tend to be more consistent in DPM out. As we see here, the gates coming down. We'll see if KND comes out with a bomb. As looks like the heavy getting on the card. And here comes the demo man coming in over the top, jumping in onto the medic. Actually, a base jumper. First time we've seen that out here, putting down the stickies, but he gets taken down by Yosh.
Yeah,
I'm loving it already.
Use of weapons. Again, two very interesting choices. Muma has chosen to use the loose cannon, so you know, unlock's being used already in this match as Jared with a very aggressive bomb in. Feint takes down Scissor, as we said, with the gun, just picking him right away, giving Yosh a little bit of room to breathe.
Yeah, it's always so nice here to get some nice sight lines on the defense here if you can do it correctly. A little bit of aggression. We're kind of going to build up a players kind of around this right-hand side as Ender goes down right there. We're seeing, you can see this flank side right now. Here comes the soldier over the top trying to contest. Edney actually taking down Bobby there, getting the better of that soldier duel. But he goes down as well. But again, the D offense has such a fast respawn here that when you do make a trade, it's actually in your favor.
Yeah, and again, you're seeing that right now. The hurt that Storm put on them by taking down that teleporter early means that red spawns are going to just take a while to get there, and Satan does catch out Feint, and the Uber comes in here as Geosis is taking this Uber, trying to just keep them back. Jared launched way out of the Uber and taken down by Jufro. I think that was actually the loose cannon in combination with some sticky bombs, so very interesting work there by Bote as they are choosing to pull out here and go hold second.
Yeah, definitely the correct decision here. It'll be interesting to how these set. The important thing is from the first hold is you're never going to hold it forever against a competent team. It's how good can you get it on your second hold. And now kind of doing this octopus hold that was kind of started up as a meta, where the medic kind of stands on top of this platform. You have a dispenser, and the medic is kind of like an octopus, having its legs all around him, healing up all the different players as they're holding on the second point.
And Yosh just, you know, owning that. And Feint takes down Etney on the flank. And Jufro cleans up Corsa, the flank down for KND right now. Yosh just being very aggressive, but Jared comes in and gets two big frags onto Bobby and Jufro, cleaning up both flank. And the spy is on the medic right now. He's looking to get a pick, but Storm is caught out and taken down by that loose cannon from Muma.
And here we go. We got the Uber coming in from KND, trying to push through, trying to do something, but the Pyro counter Uber back, pushing him back nice. Satan comes in, tries to push him back as well. So he's kind of getting a little bit of an exchange here. Nothing really happening from it, but just as I say that, Devilman pushes back in, and he gets punished for his troubles, as well as Bobby. So no combo class up for KND on offense here. So there might be a little bit aggressive on this hold. The medic is actually looking a little bit weak. The scout tries to get in there, but he's going to get punished for that as well. The Jufro goes down, combos up, and it looks like actually Red might get the better of this. I'm sorry, the offense might get the better of this exchange.
Yosh taking down Sizz again though, and the double donk coming in on Satan, and Yosh gets Jared too. Two huge picks as the demo and sniper go down for KND. Great work by Yosh, who is currently on an 8 kill spree, just sitting up there. And takes down Corsa. Dang, 9 kill streak. Somebody needs to get pressure on him. He does get flared, which means he's going to be down for a little bit, but Sizz just waiting for him to go back up.
Yeah, Nursey coming back to 100%. I think they're trying to figure out how they want to push this, but so far, they're looking pretty good here. Pretty solid second hold. Here comes the Uber. I'm sorry, it's going to come in here pretty soon. There it is. Finally popped. Counter Uber comes in on the red side. looks like the Delman's getting pushed back a little bit. They're bringing in Satan in here to push back the combo on red as they are falling back on the second point. They overtook Hill. This probably is going to signify this giving up at the second point.
It is interesting. We're seeing Geosis running Flog right now, so maybe we'll get an Uber crits in. But he is forced out a little bit, and he is taken down there by Corsa, who wrapped around. So right now we're seeing Feint just trying to put a little bit of pressure on with the Ambi. Is going to dead ring away after being taken down by Corsa. But a pretty nice hold on second, and Bote is going to get out and hold this third point. Yosh did go down, though, so lack of sniper pressure right now.
Yeah, as well, their Pyro Geosis went down there as well, so if they did a push... Actually, should be up here pretty shortly here, as KND is trying to do something. Actually, Bobby goes down, but he does take down Scissors, so no sniper here for KND on offense, as they're getting kind of some pop shots onto the cart from Yosh, who's got pretty much free range right now, and Bobby with the Fist of Steel slowly pushing into that cart, but we do have 100% Uber waiting on the KND side.
Yeah, but Justin is eking towards that 100%, which is ever so important. The Uber is going to come in very quickly. I think they thought they had a bigger advantage than they did, because Geos is just going to come and deny this push. Not really getting much done as Satan is cleaned up by Muma, and Scissor almost getting loose cannoned off the edge there, but does take down Muma. That's a big pick, and it's going to allow Jared to get some easy pressure on him. Yosh takes down Ender, but again, right now, Bote just struggling to hold this third point. It's very important, and they need to get them off this cart.
Yeah, they need to get some pressure somewhere. Actually, just as I said, that Feint came in to try to put some pressure on the medic, but he's not going to be able to get that pick there. It's just slowly, the heavy actually the entire time during that hold was pushing up the cart. That's the point of this game, is the objective right here. Delman does go down for KND, and actually looks like Bote is trying to get a little bit aggressive on the cart, trying to do something, but the third point is going to be captured, and they're definitely going to have to back up to last.
That's a very rough time. 5 minutes to get that third point is, you know, pretty quick by Platinum standards. It's usually that hold that really catches people off guard. If KND can get a smooth push into last, it's probably going to be the round. Storm takes down just in time. Great play there by Storm, and that is going to, of course, give a huge advantage to KND.
Yeah, Bote right now, sitting at 100% disadvantage. They need to play pretty well, but just as I say that, Kresnik, Bobby comes in, gets a nice little 2K there. As, yeah, Jared takes down the Soldier as well. Yosh taking down Ender, as we're getting some trades, but definitely going in the favor of KND here on offense. Bote, are they going to be able to hold on to this? As the card is a little bit away. Spy in on the medic. He's going to just choose to run away from that.
Yeah, I think he saw the Uber and didn't know how much time was left. Didn't really have the information. Bobby forcing it on the cart right now. Oh, his Feint misses the stab. He's going back in though, and he does get taken down by the counter stab by Storm. Right now, KND doing a great job of just putting pressure on that cart. They really need to just get pressured out there, and Kresnik does go down, but gets great time on the cart.
Yeah, this is the strategy you'll see, is every single push of KND's onto this last point will almost always be Fist of Steel with their heavy onto the cart here. Actually, Ender on the cart has a nice little angle. Is he going to be able to capture it? Gets pretty close, but in comes a scout as well to help clean that up. And Bote has actually done a pretty good job of doing that. And Yosh with the headshot mid-air onto the Soldier, denying him from coming up. Sane actually running in on the combo, trying to get a flare, isn't able to land it, then gets reflected and taken down by who else but Yosh, who's having just quite a game
finally
today.
Taken down by Sizz. He's just having a monster game right now. Justin needs to get this Uber. They're so close. They need to get on the cart, but no, not in time. 7 minutes. That is a very fast time for KND. And Bote is going to be struggling to get something that quick on the board. But that final push, yeah, again, exactly as you called it. I mean, that heavy, just so difficult to kill with that 450 health, damage resistance coming out from the Fist of Steel. Just so hard to take down, and when he's getting the cart all the way to the edge like that, it just doesn't leave a lot of room for error on the defensive side. And Bote gave up a few too many frags there, jumping on the cart, and just couldn't hold the point when KND rushed in with that Uber charge.
Yeah, I think one of the problems that happened with Bote there, the second hold obviously was very phenomenal. They did a pretty good job at it. The big thing when it comes from your second point is I kind of look at it from the second point of Badwater, where it's like it's all about the third point, really. Like, you want to get a really good third point hold. And when it comes to Upward, I think their transition, they lost some players, and then they kind of couldn't decide if they wanted to fight or not, and they ended up losing too many, and their third point ended up being like not very good just because they didn't have a good, they never started with a good hold. But we'll see what Bote can do here as the gates open up. They're going to start off on the blue offensive side And are they going to be able to do anything interesting coming out here as this first suicide wave comes out?
And Muma still holding strong with that loose cannon, trying to get something going, but Feint is taken down right away. Bobby caught him out. Great spy checking, but there he goes. Bobby down. That opens it up for bombs a little. We might see some aggressive play from Bote here if they want to get something moving. But Muma taking tons of damage and isn't really able to get in on them.
Yeah, actually what's kind of interesting is we're not seeing a very, usually a lot of teams will do a suicide wave, but it looks like Bote's opting just to get very aggressive on the cart, kind of doing with that. Their medic is still not out of spawn yet. Here as actually Bobby comes in, tries to get a kill onto Scissor. That's Bobby on the offense side here. As we're just kind of jostling play right now. Nursey does get forced there, got pretty low, or was just, I don't know, I guess got scared as they do pop, but Justin's just going to hold on to this. This actually is a very good position for Bote.
Yeah, Bote doing a great job with that loose cannon, just getting a ton of damage in. Muma going for an aggressive bomb. Oh my gosh, getting tons of damage, taking down Satan and Etney, but is not going to be able to get the med there, which is unfortunate because that would have given him a huge advantage. But Feint ends up cleaning up on the damage with that gun, taking down Nursey, and Bobby goes down to the rocket from other Bobby. Sorry, I gotta call him Kresnik in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great play. This Demo Man bombed over the top, took a 2K, Scout tried to follow that up, and then you had Feint standing way in the backfield in the double window, picks off the medic trying to run away. Like, what great coordination out of Bote right here. Now, second point does have a very long cart push time, so it's going to give a little bit of a chance here, but just as I said, here comes the Uber in onto the second point. Satan doing a good job of pushing it away. Edney a little bit caught in here, but it just as they say that, yeah, Yosh gets taken down here. Spy in on the medic, but he goes down as well. They might be able to capture this, but KND's looking to contest.
Yeah, KND looking to be aggressive here. Big bomb from Bobby coming in, but is going to be shut down by Satan. Kresnik cleans up Bobby after he fails that bomb, but he does get picked going out. That's some pretty nice picks going in here. Sniper down and heavy down for KND. And Bote moving this right along. 4 minutes 45 seconds, excuse me, to get these last 2 points. With some good picks by Yosh, this is totally doable.
Yeah, and one thing that they actually did is Ender switch off to level 3s during the second point, so he's able to teleport a gun, start off with a level 1, but building to a level 3, so he's got a little bit of help here, as Nursey does have a 20% Uber advantage on defense. They're probably not going to be pushing aggressively with it, but they do at least have it for when Justin starts to push in here, as Kresnik, the heavy, is holding that little platform area, so difficult to deal with, but as I said, here comes the Uber pushing. Actually, Heavy comes in from the shack house, takes down the gun right away. That's what you need to do, but just to say that Brick does go down, and you got Gios is trying to make a flank play, but he goes down as well, and this is not looking good as Satan is going for the chase.
Yeah, and Satan does go in there and chase down Muma, and picks up the Jufro kill. He's looking for more, and Feint does take down Jared. That's a nice equalizing pick. But overall, KND doing a great job of repelling that push.
Yeah, they just focused every target that was kind of a little bit overextended or wasn't caught in the Uber. I don't know. What did you see in that Uber? That kind of did make it as successful as it could be?
The flashing was pretty good, but they did just have an unlucky play there as Brick was unflashed as soon as he just got tons of damage dealt to him. So as soon as that Uber beam came off of him, he just couldn't get anything done. Did take down the gun nicely, but other than that, not much. And they're just having a ton of trouble dealing with these people on platform who are just consistently going back and forth for health. Kresnik does go down. That's really a good play. I think Satan is still up, though, so going to have a tough time getting anything done, as he's just going to immediately run into Bote as soon as that Uber's popped.
Yeah, and I kind of like the play by Brick here, actually getting that cart. So it's pretty much just one good push away from getting onto that final point. If they just get somebody on, it looks like the engineer's going to run to this cart. And this is like such a good cart push area. You know, it's so hard to actually hold on to. And just that alone, plus a little bit of the presence of the team, they're going to back up to this final point. But 2 minutes and 45 seconds on this clock, and this is actually a doable capture, as Scissors is currently down for KND on defense.
Yeah, you're seeing right now, like, at least what I'm seeing from my third-person perspective is that Bote is kind of flubbing these pushes. They're having a lot of trouble getting something really smooth together, but playmakers like Yosh have just come in and gotten key picks at the end of those Uber fights, which are leading them to pick up, you know, the point right there. KND did a great counter Uber, you know, completely shut down KND, but as soon as the Uber ended, 2 key picks coming in for Bote, which led them to this final capture, and 2 minutes left. It really comes down to Bote keeping their heads cool and just really playing this point smart.
Yeah, I think that what Bote probably should do here is probably just go and trade the Zubers, like just get them both popped, get them done, and then fall back out. But as I say that, they just lost their Pyro and Heavy there, just kind of peeking through the corner, and that's going to just make it last a little bit longer. As I say, here comes in the Uber over the top. It does get exchanged, but no frags coming out early as everybody's invulnerable. Nobody's dying. As Devilman's trying to do something, but nothing really happened so far.
Oh, but that's a big play as Muma does take down the sentry. Yosh going huge right now, 6 kill spree. He's just punishing everybody who's coming out of spawn. Looking very solid here as all of Bote is on the cart. You know, trying to get this done. Sizz trying to make a play here, but there it is! Bote takes the first round! And I don't think many people at all expected it. In fact, I know they didn't, because the Saloon.tf has Bote and Muma and the Seaman at a 20-1 odds. So, wow, what a play in that first snap.
That is absolutely insane. That was that was really great of them coming together. Just like, really, that's the way I would say how I kind of saw is that Bote just came together and they got the frags. Like, they just got the frags when they needed them. You know, they maybe were out of position sometimes, but ultimately their DM kept up, and whenever KND was out of position, they punished them instantly for it.
Yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, kind of how Feint and Yosh can be playmakers and make a difference here. Although Feint is having a little bit of trouble, he did get that big med pick which opened up the second for them, and Yosh just absolutely dominating on the sniper side of the game, destroying Sizz right now. Finished that game with a 6 kill spree in which he just took down the Heavy and the sniper. So we're gonna during this break here rather, we're gonna take a look at the stats. You guys are seeing them right now. Sigafoo, what do you notice checking these out?
Well, I feel like it's kind of the easy thing to say is Yosh, Yosh, Yosh. How do you like it? How do you like it? Yosh with 22 frags, closest person to him, what is that, like 8 frags away? That's like, that's like 33% more than the closest. That's absolutely insane to have that far of a difference. Actually, double fragging Scissor right there, who's sitting at 11. As I said, just went absolutely ham that game. Scissor and Yosh, they traded just about the same. Yosh killed Scissor 4 times, Scissor killed Yosh 3 times. So very close in that respect. But actually, the big pick that it looks like, and I think this is a really big deal, is that Yosh picked Kresnik, Bobby, 5 times. It's the Heavy. And I think the play of Kresnik on this map is huge. I think he's a really important role that he plays. And picking him off 5 times throughout the map, I really do think. And then also the Devilman as well. 4 picks on 1. So the combo classes together are 9 of his picks, which I feel like are very, very important.
Huge. Yeah, exactly. And not only that, but look at how Brick is doing in comparison. Obviously, he's mentioned to me earlier that this is one of his favorite maps to play because it's a more entertaining heavy map for him. But, when he's not getting that sniper pressure that Kresnik is getting right now, second fragging, doing a really solid job. 3 picks on Bobby, or on Etney, excuse me. 2 picks on Kresnik. Pretty good spread and a med pick there for Brick. So, he's doing a very good job with the space that Yosh has given him.
Yeah, and then the other thing you got to point out, how can we avoid is that Muma actually is out damaging Jarrett right now, which is, basically he's holding up. I think there's some questions kind of coming into this game about how he's going to do, and he actually has half the deaths as well, which personally, I think Muma is a very good player, but I definitely think sometimes he can get overly aggressive. But this game, he has proven me wrong 100%. I think he's been really on point, where he had that big jump over the top, got the 2 frags, and he did it really effectively. Whereas I think Jarrett's getting a little bit aggressive at the wrong times. I feel like he's getting just a little bit too impatient. And it kind of shows in the stat line as he has twice as many deaths.
Yeah, and I think that we're seeing just a totally different Bote team from last season. We're seeing a Muma who's way more careful with his life, and he's focused on getting his team's frags rather than, getting his own stats just bolstered up there. 500 plus DPM for him, 541, that's just damage that his team can follow up on, and that's forcing opportunities from KND. You saw him just launching those loose cannons into the cove on first to get Nursey to pop early, which gave them the first point. That play alone was a huge difference maker in that win for Bote.
Yeah, I mean, just good all-around play. I mean, Bote, I mean, as I said, and another thing that I think Bote did really well on, but I guess both teams have done a pretty good job on, is just like focusing that capture, focusing that card. I know it sounds kind of dumb, but as the engineer main who has to focus the capture, I see a lot of teams, especially in Upward, because it's such a big map, that they actually don't do that correctly. And, you know, it sets up a lot of the captures. That by having that cart so close, it forces that team that if they do engage in that fight and the point is captured, then they're really in a bad position versus if the cart was like 20 feet back. I know it sounds small, but it really does make a difference where you force positioning changes out of the team by where the cart capture is.
Exactly. I think that's forcing KND into some uncomfortable situations, places that they aren't used to being in, where they have to act, they have to counter some of their own strategies, and play against a team who's just as prepared as they are, some would say. But again, KND on defense, 15 seconds left in setup. We're going to see if Bote can really put up another pretty impressive time. They had, I think, a minute left there, so putting up a sub-7's time is pretty solid on this map, and especially against KND. So here we are, second round, Muma and the Seaman versus Kids Next Door.
See, out of the gate, Demoman bombing over the top, actually with a base jumper as well, and not so lucky for Muma this time. I guess it didn't really work out for either of them as he went down, but Satan actually got picked off there. I didn't see how.
Yeah, Satan actually got sniped right off the bat by Yosh, who's coming out and looking to just keep those frags up. He's doing his team a lot of good work. Feint running the Dead Ringer this time, which is something we didn't see out of him the first half. So maybe he's just trying to get some pestilence. Muma doing that same thing that he was doing last game, just tons of damage in. Sizz looking for something, and right now still fragless.
Yeah, we're just seeing a lot of jostling in position right now. As Storm actually is trying to get ready for a pick himself in the backfield. But again, the medic is not come out of spawn yet for the offense here, Bote. As Feint does take down the teleports, that's going to slow the any new spawns coming in here. But yeah, Scissor actually just gets taken down there by Yosh again. So again, that's going to create some nice ground. This is a really good sightline. As I say that, here comes a pop out of Nursey. But it's no pop out of Justin. Justin gets a hold on.
Yeah, and I think that was all started by Kresnik going down and just not having the teleporter to get back. Justin is forced though, so pretty good job there by KND as they retreat. They really needed to get that force, so they risk getting forced out of these first 2 points. And we're seeing a pretty similar first time from Bote on this offense.
Yeah, Muma actually came in with a jump way over the top. I think he's trying to get a little bit too cheeky, but as I say that, Feint with a nice headshot onto Jarrett, so no Demoman for the defense here, though they are sitting at about a 20% Uber advantage, but that's going to create some space here right now. As I say that, Muma's trying to get aggressive, but a little bit too aggressive as he goes down to the combination of heavy and mini.
Yeah, and I think some people in chat have said it best. Sizz is just having a sad time right now. I mean, just getting blasted by every angle. Yosh does go down to the heavy. Good pressure there by Kresnik. And that is going to allow Nursey to have a little bit more aggressive position. But right now the Uber is forced, and Justin has that 100%, is going to pop, try and save his teammates. Doing a great job of flashing Brick there to keep him alive.
I like that play. I was going to say, Feint actually backstabbed the Uber Demoman to toss him up in the air and take out his timing of his stickies. I actually kind of like that, just cute little play here. As actually they're getting pressured out here. Muma having to back up with the combo as well. Satan getting very aggressive, and he goes down for that himself. And Jarrett still holding firm, and here comes actually the bomb of the soldier, but he decides to pull out of it.
Oh, Feint! The damage that came in with Bote team ended up weakening Nursey enough that Feint could just pick him off with a nice little shot there. And Jared goes down as well as Yosh. The assassin class is making those plays for Bote. They need to get this cart push, and they are going to take down the flank that was still in tunnel. So very nicely done, as Bote is going to take this second point after some nice plays.
So Storm does take down, Yosh right there real quickly. But this is also kind of the point of like having your cart capture time, because KND did such a good job of holding the cart from being pushed up. It actually gives them a decent amount of time to set up on third point here. Versus if that cart was very close to that capture point, they would have been much more pressured here in this instance. But actually, Justin Kine, though, is sitting at 100% Uber, so they should be pushing in fairly quickly here.
Yeah, they do have to be careful, though. A lot of teams make the mistake of trying to get a little too ambitious and Ubering a little too early, when they have this advantage without the cart being pushed up. But right now, this is a key point in the game that the cart is far enough forward that if Bote gets a good Uber off here, it could be the 3rd point and the round if they can just be very aggressive. So Feint takes down Etney on the flank. That's going to give him a little bit of room to breathe. But right now, just setting up that Uber push. They need to move quickly as Nursey is quickly approaching that 100%. Oh, but bam, Sizz getting a nice play there onto Muma. And of course, that is going to stop the push from Bote.
Yeah, that pick on Etney by Feint actually does help out that cart pushing a lot because he was kind of the main watcher of that. But just in time, holding on, as I said, that 100% Uber, Muma did go down here, but just say that here comes Uber, popped out from around the corner. They put the Uber onto Satan, who actually pushes them, actually disconnecting the combo, now pushing the medic, trying to push him off the cart, I think. A lot of dancing going on here, but it ends up actually, it looks like Satan out of position now. He goes down. And this might be what they need to take onto this 3rd point. That's some nice damage out of Muma, but Kresnik in a really good position here in this little corridor Z area, putting out crazy damage, but he goes down. Etney as well, and as well Scissor. And they're getting flanked from every position. Feint in a really good spot, just creating chaos from behind. Corsa comes in, trying to help out his team, but just so few alive. This 3rd point is just captured pretty easily. Really nice play by Bote there.
Yeah, and again, the same thing, that kind of post-Uber fight that Bote has been playing so well this game. They're not having the greatest Ubers, as you saw, Justin getting disconnected there, but just so good at coming in and getting those overextended players from KND. And as we say, overextending, Bobby is just tossed about by Satan and reflect killed on the flank. Both of Bote's flank classes down right now. Storm Arian looking for a pick, trying to get something going, but is going to be pressured by Bobby as Yosh is allowed to live. And as long as Yosh is up, you can just see KND is playing a little bit scared right now.
And you can, I mean, look at the positioning actually out of Bote here. Oh, Muma got disconnected from the medic there, jumped off a little bit too early, I think. And ended up actually dying for free as the Ubers did get exchanged, but nothing really came of it. Jufro does get a nice pick onto Scissors there, but just they say that Yosh does go down. Yosh does have a little bit of a quicker respawn time, so might get a little bit of an advantage of it as Satan is pushing very far forward onto the combo. Nice flare, taking down Muma.
Yeah, and you see that with a Pyro as good as Satan, you need to have somebody protecting your demo, because he is just going to destroy Muma in that fight. And he does, as he just punishes Muma for getting a little bit too aggressive without the support of his team. Right now, we're just seeing this 3rd point that's ever so important. Pressure going in on the sentry gun, but nothing yet. Yosh does get taken down by Sizz. That's a very nice pick for KND right now.
And just kind of a lot of jostling, kind of interesting hold out of KND here, kind of untraditional, kind of under the balcony. Not a lot of teams tend to hold this area here, as Bobby putting down a little bit of spam onto the combo, just annoying. It's not enough to do too much, but yeah, just in time, just respawning now. So Nursey's holding on 100% Uber. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to use it aggressively to try to pick Justin again.
Yeah, and that's really something that if you don't normally see out of KND. They're normally a safer team, but again, new season, new KND. As we saw, they're getting a little bit flustered on that first play. The Uber is forced. Again, Muma going down, but did get the force, which is really all he needed. Justin just staying very safe right now as the pressure is coming in on him.
I like Linky's are trying to come in and try to make a play on the medic. Wasn't able to get it himself, but look at, see, this is the thing is with the offense, is the respawns are so quick. Everybody just died for blue, and now they're all back up again here. Now it's on the defense to hold on here. Scout onto the cart, Soldier jumping in onto the sentry gun, pushing Ender out. He actually does kill Ender, so that sentry gun's going to go down as well. Heavy onto the cart. Is there going to do anything? Just end Nursey alive. No, that's not going to be enough. 7 minutes and 42.
Wow. I mean, Bote, again, that post-Uber fight, getting the Uber out of Nursey, giving themselves the advantage. Very nicely done, making sure to keep Justin safe. Bote really right now playing a smart game. They know that they can't just muscle their way through. They've seen in the past how that works against a team like KND, and it's just not successful. But here they go with an attempt to start 1-0, upset the current defending champions. I don't want to jinx them, but Bote's looking very strong right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The top fraggers in that first half were Yosh, Bobby, the Soldier, and Feint. So the top 3 frags were all on the offensive side, which tends to be a little bit unusual. Usually your defense, you get more frags because the offense is just kind of throwing their bodies, but doing a pretty good job this game. Definitely, I mean, they're looking, I said, don't want to jinx anything, but they're looking very strong coming into this second half.
Yeah, and here we go. Setup time ticking down. The stress is probably kicking into these players' mind. KND maybe a little bit on tilt as their run at an undefeated season or another return to the finals already looking a little less certain as Bote has shown the chinks in their armor.
And Jarrett going down early there, so not going to have to wait a few more seconds before a bomb comes out. And Corsa going down as well, so just a few picks. I mean, not super important picks, but just a lot of aggression on the Bote team, just not allowing KND to get comfortable here on the cart.
Yeah, just damage coming out from Muma. They need to be careful. Muma needs to know that how he played the first half, very few damage is the way, or very few deaths, excuse me, is the way they have to play this. They have to be methodical and smart about this.
Yeah, just a lot of jostling in the cart. Feint actually takes down Sister. There's no sniper for the offense here as Jarrett trying to get something going on, but he goes down to Yosh, who's, again, once you get that comfortable, you can take those more aggressive peeks, and they tend to pay off for you, as a lot of frags go in favor of Bote here, but the respawn timers, again, in the favor of KND, so they're going to respawn very quickly, and Scissor gets a better of Yosh that time.
Yeah, and that's the pick they really want here. KND knows how explosive Yosh can be if you don't keep him in check, and now that he's down, they are going to be a lot more aggressive. Nursey already way onto the cart, Ubering straight into them, but the counter Ubering coming from Justin and forcing him right back out. So, again, not a ton of accomplished there, but it does look like Bote is just going to try and get back right now. Huge bomb by Jared, trying to get the frag onto him, but is going to go down. Justin with the nice jukes and actually not taking like any damage there. Etney destroyed by Jufro as he goes to clean up on the damage.
It's just actually in a really curious spot, not seen yet. Very aggressive when you get a pause, it looks like.
Yeah, and I might have mentioned this earlier, but we did have some match comms between these two teams in that we wanted to make sure that Jared could pause without warning if his mouse broke because he's been having trouble. But I am getting word that it's actually because the engineer for Bote team, Link user, is the one who has crashed, and they are currently trying to get him back in the server. So it should be pretty quick if you guys are okay with waiting just a few seconds. But what do you think of the position KND is in right now?
I mean, not very good. I mean, as much as I kind of like that play of the Demo Man bombing in over the top, it actually really does stifle your initial push and allows Bote now to get set up here. As I said, you can kind of see the setup of the medic standing over the platform, getting out those heals, and they're going to take control of this hill. And this hill is like, if you control the hill, you control the second point. And having a Demo Man, that's like the perfect spot for an aggressive offensive Demo Man to be able to spam, to counter them, to push them off the hill. But to suicide in that situation, I just don't know if that was the correct decision there. It's going to give a little bit of time for Bote to set up. I don't know. I mean, how do you like to play second on defense yourself?
I really, really like this hold. In fact, this is something that I really pushed for last season when I was engineering for Bote team. I love this hold right here where you just kind of stand up on top of a tunnel. You're very protected, and you have a little bit of room to breathe. If you do get wiped, it's so far to push the cart that you can normally get a very good hold on third. However, you are susceptible to those bombs, and I think KND knows that. And in order to get this time, I think they're ignoring the current watch. I think I clocked it at about 5:45 as how much time KND actually has left. And I think they're just worried that they're going to get holed up on that third point, and they want to just roll them. They want to get that pick on Justin or that pick on Jared that frees him up a bit.
And Justin's actually sitting at an Uber advantage right now. So, I mean, again, he's probably not going to use that aggressively, but that pick would create a huge advantage for Nursey, obviously, and they'd be able to roll through with that, at least through the second point, if not through the third, if played correctly. So, I mean, I think the death is not necessarily horrible in that sense, but, you know, it's like one of those things, anytime you make like a suicide play when a team's getting set up, you know, it's like, when is your life more valuable? And I think that's definitely a debatable point. You could kind of argue one way or the other as we're waiting for a Link user to get back in here. I'm very curious. You see this Scissor right now? He's got a perfect sight line.
He's looking right into Justin time, but Yosh is also looking right at him. So, I mean, it's going to be a quick draw right now. I would not really be surprised. Sizz has got to just be looking right at Justin and lining up that shot. But of course, kind of unfortunate because I'm sure that Bote has called him out by now.
Well,
I mean, there's no way he's still incognito on top of that minecart.
what do you want to call it? This is 90 seconds before the pause. So the pause didn't actually happen in this moment.
Oh, exactly. I'm sorry. That is a very important fact to bring up. That we are not in spectate. We are in STV. So, I'm hoping.
Not quite real time, but it's a very funny moment to have pause, regardless of what we have. Literally, the sniper looking at the medic and the other sniper looking at the sniper. You know, it's like this Mexican standoff almost.
Yeah,
you shoot my guy, I shoot you.
And I'm hoping that somebody spots out Sizz, but if not, we might see a frag video clip in the making right here. Yosh just running up and going for Justin, but we'll see. Right now, if Link User did crash later in the game when he had level 3s, it might be a very big impact. So we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, this isn't. I mean, having that dispenser there is pretty important, though. I mean, it definitely sucks to not be able to have it. But, I mean, if you think about it, it's like you have that little health pack, and then way in the back, exposed to sniper sight lines, you have a big med pack. But that's basically it for heals besides your medic, you know, and ammo. There's like an ammo pack right there. So having that dispenser there, when I kind of played this technique with Hateful Eight, is I found to be like very, very important to be able to help out your team and keep them alive and keep them at the front lines, which is like what you want your dispenser to help them out with.
Yeah, and that it is very important. I know we're kind of talking some engineer meta, and some of you Highlander /Sixes players out there might look down upon it, but the dispenser, a valuable part of this hold, I will say. So
it's a nice little stick. It's like a stick in the middle, you know. It's like here's where the medic stands. Everybody kind of goes around this.
Yeah, but again, that might be just the stick that Sizz needed to line up the shot. But we will see if that hits or not. I'm very, very excited to see the rest of this half, and not just because the upset is currently in progress, but because it's a great game. Both teams playing very well. Yosh having an explosive performance, but we'll see how the rest of this half goes, as we're currently just kind of waiting for Link User to come back in.
Yeah, hopefully not too much longer from now. Definitely, I mean, we talked about in pregame that Bote was kind of both of ours. Like, I mean, obviously you're a little biased because you are a leader on Bote, but you know, myself, it's like I've been saying, like, we think that Bote's been having a good chance. They've been looking good this year. And I played with them a little bit in the preseason, and, like, I mean, seriously impressive. Like, and I think that this really has just, like, they've really kind of come together as a team and kind of shown off their stuff. And as I said, I think their flank classes, or their pick classes, the spy and sniper, have really been stepping up. But I don't know. I mean, just like, it just feels like no one's really misplaying that much. I think that's probably the most impressive thing to me, is that I never really seen something going, that's not right. You know, that's not correct. You know, I feel like they've kind of come together with that.
And I think that their flank this season has helped out with that. I think they finally have realized that it might just be best to get a Highlander soldier and a Highlander scout. People who know the meta aren't going to make, maybe those crazy, like, 5-6 kills that turn the game around like a Banny or a Corsa might do. But Jufro right now just doing a great job. And I am getting word that the unpause is coming. So looking right now, all eyes are on Sizz, Yosh, and Justin Time's skull. So this could be a pretty crazy play that gets pulled off. He doesn't get it, so a little anticlimactic. But Sizz does get Yosh there, so nice play on that end.
Yeah, and try to chase him. Actually, Yosh eats a pipe. I'm sorry, Sizz eats a pipe there as he falls off. Now we're getting the counter push from KND onto the cliff. And
Feint getting some nice picks on the cart there. But Jufro just meat-shotting the combo. And the kill, just as I say that Jufro might not be that playmaker, gets the combo destruction there as Nursey goes down, Kresnik goes down, Jared goes down to those scattergun shots.
Absolutely, just like great combination between the Demo Man and the Scout there. Just focus damage, just cleaned it up together. Really, really clean and pretty. As you have Edney jumping in over the top, gets one rocket onto that, forces the medic here. So that's going to be a little bit nice as they're going to try to chase down, try to get some frags here, take down the Devil Man on KND. Now Jufro is running through. He's trying to find Nursey. Mini Sentry's up, try to keep him protected in that Mini Sentry just in the right spot there to keep him alive. as they're just kind of resetting here on the defense, but now they're at an Uber disadvantage. And actually, just Satan's coming in under top or under the platform.
And I did restart my HUD just so that I could make sure to see what the time is, and it's currently at 4 minutes 35 seconds for KND to get 3 points, and they are being very aggressive in pushing it. Brick making sure to try and get out there, does take down Storm area, and Jared did go down in that push. That's a very nice play, but I do think that it's going to take long enough that it won't matter. He is going to be up by the time they need to push again. However, Bobby is taken down as well, so that combo a little bit in pieces right now. And there it is. Link user is back in the server in our time, so he is going to have a level 3 up on this point. The Uber coming, they know that Link user's down. They don't have a sentry gun up quite yet, and Jared just getting pushed off the edge. But the strafe, but Yo shuts him down. That was a pretty funny series of events as Jared does end up going down. And Bote does hold this point. They have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, and currently are at about an even Uber play. Yosh and Fizz are both up though, so.
KND definitely feeling the pressure right now as Kresnik went down as well. Actually, Eddie comes in with the help of Jared and gets a couple frags there. Actually, so no Muma, no Bricks, that's no Heavy or Demo on this defense here as the Spy and Scout are trying to do something to try to stop this card, slow it down a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough here as they're just going to kind of walk it up the hill.
I think Yosh is looking for a pick. He's just kind of waiting in the backfield, hoping to get something on maybe Sizz or Yosh. But right now, oh, he does get Satan. That's a pretty nice pick. And Jufro cleaning up some frags on the flank. And Feint takes down Sizz. This is what we were talking about earlier, that Gun Spy, such an ability to make plays. And the Uber, defensive Uber coming in from Justin, and Geosis is all over KND Nurse. Will it be enough? Oh, Jared's so hurt, taken down by Jufro. So great defensive Uber to retake third by Bote.
Yeah, and Feint actually is standing on the cart right now, stopping it from anybody touching it to roll it up here. But this cart position is so important because it stops the forward spawns coming in from blue. And here comes actually the Spy and Soldier and Engineer coming in onto the cart as the combo is pushing up on the hillside. We got a little nice positioning. Actually, Spy, Feint trying to defend the cart as well as Jufro and the Pyro. They're actually still able to hold on to this as the Delman is going to finally be able to capture this. And then the Soldier comes from behind Bobby, taking down Scissors. No sniper here for the defense. And Brick takes down Jared as well, so no Delman. As they are going to have very close respawns. But it's going to hold off a little bit longer. 1:55 seconds left for KND to be able to capture this final point, and they got to be feeling the pressure right now.
Yeah, and the Uber is up for Justin, but I'm sure they're going to try and get very aggressive as frags are currently on the side of KND. But the Uber is popped there, looking to go on to Failure, who doesn't, or sorry, Muma. We're reading his in-game name, but other than that, not really a ton done, but Nursey did get forced there, so that's a big play. And Jared goes down to Yosh. That is an even bigger play. Yosh just taking down players who dare get on that cart. Yosh getting Ender as well, but Sizz finally shuts him down.
The big pick here is Kresnik, the Heavy for KND going down, so that's going to slow down that cart push here. As we're sitting at 1:10 seconds left on the clock here, Ubers are about even, but still a few seconds away, so basically we're going to see one good push left here coming in on here, as it looks like the combo's kind of peaking a little bit on the final point.
Yeah, and the sentry did go down. That's a very nice play. Just in time gets sniped by Sizz. That's the play that might open this up. 50 seconds left. Is it going to be enough for KND? They're all pouring in, and it does look like that's going to be enough to save the round. Nice play there by KND to even it up at 1-1. Wow, those frags just pouring in. Sizz getting a couple of key shots in the end there that really opened it up for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just that critical push that they had, finally, they got the frags they needed, did a really good job of focusing that cart, pushing it forward and whatnot. Just a good play around all by KND here. And also, I mean, the push on third, I mean, it almost got shut down by the Uber push, but they were able to recover from that and take care of it. And yeah, I mean, that's what you need to do is step up to the plate when the time comes.
Yeah, KND showing that, you know, when everything is thrown down, they are still a very, very good team. And that when it everything is rolled, all the dice on the table, whatever the saying is you want to use, they are going to get the job done as they proved there. So, again, this is it. This is clutch time for both teams. 1-1, sudden death. This round is going to determine the first round and who goes 0-1 into the rest of the season and who is the impressive 1-0.
And I think in some ways, like, I think Bote's already won this game. Like, regardless of if they actually win this game, I feel like they've already kind of shown themselves and kind of made themselves like a contender for the rest of the season, just off that one round. And even the second round, I mean, they've looked good. I really think the pressure's on KND to kind of, like, defend themselves, defend their title. I know it's just the first week of the playoff season, but, you know, you want to be able to set a tone as a team, and I know that KND definitely does not like to take any losses, so it'll be interesting to see if they are able to come together. They are a very good team at recovering after losing.
Yeah, and we're up with some stats here. And looking at these logs, it looks like Bote just dominated them, but as you saw, the objective focused gameplay that KND has always shown really paying off for them as they've just pushed the card in and really put the pedal to the metal there, capping the last 2 points in about 2 minutes. So, very nicely done.
Yeah, and actually, big stat line that jumps out at me is Muma actually has 2,000 more damage than the closest player, which is his teammate Bobby on Soldier, and Jarrett on Demo for KND. Yeah, I mean, getting pretty low down there. So I think a little bit of that aggressive gameplay maybe working against him. I'm not really quite sure why his damage numbers are so.
I think it's
so
due
much
to
lower.
the pause a little bit. Pause does affect DPM in logs, so.
Oh, yeah, that could do it. Well, no,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
just
think-
overall damage. His overall damage is less.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess we are seeing it faster times, but yeah, not quite as much as we saw in the first half. Sizz is warming up a little bit, definitely putting up better numbers than we saw in the first half, but still lagging behind Yosh in both frags and damage. So we'll see how this final round goes and if they're finally going to be able to control Yosh or if Sizz is going to get hot.
Apparently, Kresnik has his mother singing to music downstairs. Maybe that's he's gonna use as an excuse for the game.
I don't know. I think right now what KND needs to do is, no excuses. They are a good team, and they know they can win this game if they play it hard. And they just need to know that Bote isn't going to make the mistakes that Plat teams in the past have made. They are going to play smart. They're going to do the damage that they need to, and they have the DM to back it all up. So we're going to see if they can pull it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that it's basically. I mean, I think they've done a really good job, KND, of focusing. You kind of talked about just before. Is that just the objective? I think this is an underrated map on focusing the objective, is because the long cart cap times between each point. And I think they've done a really good job on it. And even the last point, it's like they know the push they want to do. They want to push through main. They want to put the heavy on the cart. They want to focus that down and force you to have to deal with it. And the first round, Bote was able to recover from it, but the second round, they definitely were not able to. So we're sitting here. We got 18 in the server storm area and is still waiting to join a team here as we're just kind of waiting to get this final round started up here. I mean, as you said, Sloon.tf had crazy odds in the favor of KND. So, I mean, this is looking good for Bote. I don't know. I mean, who do you think is going to take the last round?
I mean, just looking at, as you said, kind of the odds. I like to look at this because when you see a 20-1 odd, you see a team that has very little chance to even get around. Somebody betting on that is saying, maybe in a Hail Mary pass, Bote gets some good plays and manages to take a round. But right now, we're seeing that Bote is outplaying KND. Stat-wise, gameplay-wise, I think KND did get a little lucky there. I think this last round, if they play it smart, they really focus down on that last hold, which has kind of been their weakest hold as far as Bote goes. If they can get that down, I think they take this third round. But I've also been wrong in every prediction I've ever made on eXtv, so I'm going to predict for KND.
I like it.
I've honestly, my bracket that I filled out was flawless, but I predicted the other team every time in the cast, and I was wrong. So I'm going to predict for KND. I think Sizz is going to get hot.
All right. Well, we'll see. I hear one ready up. We should have the game starting here not too long from now. I don't know. I mean, I think it's hard for me to predict against KND just purely because I think they are a really strong team coming from a loss, and they do kind of have I don't know how do you want to put it, but they do really well with that. I mean, I think a lot of teams that's where they struggle. Is where they start to get down on themselves, and it just kind of spirals. And I think they kind of thrive in that in some ways. So, I guess I'm gonna have a hard time predicting against KND. I don't know. I feel like I gotta go, even though Bote's been really strong stat wise. I feel like
KND.
KND.
I jokingly predicted against them, but looking at it honestly, KND is the clutch team of all clutch teams. They've shown it time and time again in grand finals. They just win games. When push comes to shove, KND wins games. It might not be pretty. It might use some odd unlocks. Might be some people you've never heard of getting really hot. But, I mean, results are results. And back-to-back championship performances do not lie. So, KND, really, if Sizz puts his game face on, I think that they're going to take this one.
And Bote wins!
I am secretly hoping for it, but I'll try and be as non-biased as I can. But as we're seeing in chat here, Carl Abs saying what a bunch of knuckleheads, making this a 20-1 odds. If anybody checked the scrim results, maybe they would have seen it should be pretty close. But him returning from his game, I'm assuming they. I don't know. If somebody could tell me in chat, that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't know. How about you guys in chat out there? Why don't we get some predictions out there? What do you guys think? Who do you think is going to take the last round? Let's see some KND or Bote. Toss it in chat there. I'm kind of curious to see that themselves. I mean, obviously the Saloon.tf was pretty decided, but I'm curious to see what our viewers are going to say.
Yeah, go ahead and post in the chat who you think is going to take this one. And maybe we'll see the 1 out of 20 that goes for Bote.
I mean, Bote actually is currently winning it right. A lot of both. I mean, yeah. I mean, KND. I mean, has some, but I'd say it's like 60-70% Bote right now. Predictions here. KND coming in strong at the end there. I mean, honestly, I think I know it's so I just got the word DK120. So I correctly placed a very large bet on that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that we're gonna see just another good half. I do think that KND was a little bit lucky there getting that last half, and this could have definitely been a 2-0 for Bote. But I mean, we'll see. It's coming down to this final round. Just kind of waiting for both teams to ready up here.
Yeah, so thank you guys all for joining me out here in Grizz, as well as eXtine, the beautiful man on the camera. Let's get some love for eXtine all over. Usually get it at the end of the cast. Let's get some love for the cameraman in the middle of the cast here, as I'm sure many of you guys have finished up your games today, coming in here, wanting to see a close platinum matchup. Well, you've definitely come here. The story starts out 1-0, coming out for Bote in the first round. KND barely capturing with 40 seconds left in the clock in the second round. And now we're sitting here waiting for this third round to start up, wondering who's going to take it. And I think we might just be ready to go as the good luck have funs are being called out as we get started for this third round. There we go.
And there it is. Stage is set. And this is it. Obviously we've talked about Red Side having a little bit of an advantage. But just kind of even. I know I predicted for KND. I jokingly said that, I've been wrong every time, and I hope the Bote wins. But right now the server very laggy, so I don't know if that's just me or not.
Yeah, I'm getting it too. I think it might be. I'm not entirely sure, but definitely getting a heavy amount of lag. At least in the STV, their pings look to be okay, so it's probably just the STV.
It might also be later. Might be a lag that we're receiving from in the future.
That's true.
Don't DDoS this match, please, teams. But it does seem like it's evened out.
Awesome. Yeah, so we're seeing. Let's see. So we're gonna have KND starting out on offense. They actually did that in the first round where they did lose. The only round they lost was starting on offense. So it'll be interesting to see as they come out here. Bobby early in on the cart. We've seen Jared come out with the Demo Man with the base jumper the first round. Let's see if he does it again, or if they just gonna do more of a traditional push. They're actually getting very aggressive on this left-hand side very quickly.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on the left coming in from KND. Corsa looking to get that first blood on Bobby. Good work there, but is then taken out by Muma. And right now, damage just being exchanged on that right side. And Satan also goes down, so the first wave of suicides not super effective for KND right now.
I mean, depends. I think it's like they just wanted to get damage out as Jarrett runs in there and gets the force. He kind of snuck up in there. No one really saw him as Nursey just sitting back and spawn. The force is out just in time now, having to rebuild. As I mean, the respawns are just going to come up here for KND now, as Nursey is going to be able to push in freely. But I don't know. I think Bote might try to hold on to this.
I think Bote is definitely hoping for a pick on Nursey when she comes out. I think they're banking on Yosh getting something done, but I do think there's going to be a very early work. Oh, there it is! The combined damage from Feint, butter knifing, and Bobby with the big bomb does take out Nurse, and that's exactly what Bote needs. Great play there, and a very ballsy tactic to not pull out.
I saw him, Bobby, constantly. He kind of kept going for this jump. He kept going for the jump. And then finally he went in, hit it perfectly. Great time with the spy. Takes down Nursey. That's going to give Just in Time a nice uber advantage here. They might even want to use it aggressively if they get a good position. Oh my goodness. Yosh going crazy today. Gets a headshot on Nursey as well. And again, stifling this push. And I don't know. I mean, this is looking pretty dangerous for KND right now.
Yeah, and that's it. Nursey knows she has to be careful. It's unlike her to really do that. Corsa trying to get in on that top area, but not really that effective and shut down by the mini sentry. Yosh takes out Jared as well. And gets Nursey again! What is happening right now? Yosh is just annihilating this KND team. And Muma as well, just getting tons of damage out. Sizz finally takes down Yosh. That's the pick they need. This is very dangerous right now. Sizz going down to Feint. Nice work there. But right now, it's just, I mean, we are not used to seeing this kind of careless play from KND.
I think, you know, there's just this entire round, this entire game has just kind of been against KND. I think they've just been so pressured. And right now, even they're trying to get aggressive right now, but I mean, they got to be a little bit safe here because the other team, Bote, is sitting at 100% uber and they could push right into him as the health is so low. But it looks like they're going to just opt to back out here.
No, they're not. Again, but Just in Time also goes down. Huge medic exchange that obviously is going to hurt Bote a little more in the long run. But wow, that 3 minutes on the first point is a very big hold for Bote. So Yosh with the 3 med picks already. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane here. Though a lot of the combo classes did go down on that pullout from the first point. Actually, Bobby in here coming in at a little bit of a sneak position. Is he going to be able to get something for it? No, just going to back up there. But now we're going to have an even Ubers because both medics went down at the same time. As it looks like Bote's going to try to hold this hill here. But 3 minutes for the first point. Incredibly good time.
And those loose cannon bombs coming in over the hill. As Storm does, I thought that was Sizz, but Storm actually getting the pick onto Link. Feint takes down Sizz, freeing Yosh up even more. That's the kind of plays that Bote has got to love to see, just giving Yosh the room he wants to make the play. Kind of backing out a little. Ender goes down to Feint again, who's doing very well in this final half.
Yeah, and actually it looks like the Pyro actually did switch off to the Flog here, so it's a little bit of a secret strategy, but he goes down. As the Uber is actually just pushing through. I think Medic is trying to hold on to it, but Justin is forced to pop it, but did drop Brick in the process. So they do have a level 1 sentry onto his third point, but they got absolutely decimated on the second point. But because the card is so far back, this is going to give them just enough time to be able to sit up on the third point, potentially.
And there it is. Feint trying to get something done on the card, but unable to. 4 minutes and 30 seconds, actually a similar time to those first 2 games. Satan looking to get some kind of cheeky play, already in on Muma, does take him down. Very nice aggressive play to take down the Demo Man, and it does look like they already want to force it in. There's a big sticky trap. Brick is not aware of it, takes a ton of damage, and is going to have to pull back there. Very nice play from KND. They're deciding that they really need to clean it up. And Bote is struggling to hold this last point as KND is just flooding in. Bobby goes down to a body shot from Sizz.
Yeah, this is not looking very good for them, as actually Kresnik in a very good flank position right now. He does get taken down, but he did take down Brick before he went down. Satan with a nice flare onto the Scout, and actually on the Demo Man as well, trying to do something. Is going to be able to get out alive. Satan actually does get caught out, and the Demo Man Muma is going to stay up as the Uber does come out for Nursey here. And they are able to take out down the gun in probably the third point as well, but just in time. Now sitting at that 100% Uber, they looks like they are going to get a chance for a solid final hold.
You gotta wonder if Justin is thinking about trying to do that same Uber that they did last time, and he decides against it. Bomb coming in, Jared trying to get very aggressive here. Does look like he's gonna get shut down though, and does end up killing himself on his own sticky. As Muma and the boys are holding up top in a very secure position.
Yeah, Muma, actually, they pushed out, I think it was last round, pretty aggressively with an Uber, and they are at 70% advantage, so it's not the craziest thing for them to want to do, as, actually, just to say that the Demo Man for KND goes down Jarrett, as the Heavy pushing the cart, again, that Fist of Steel Heavy, so difficult to deal with on the cart.
Yeah, you gotta wonder, Nursey's so close. If they're gonna try this Uber, it looks like it might not be a bad idea, but still holding that top strong. They know what the hold they want to do, and they're sticking to it as Jufro ends up going down there to Jared, who is putting some nice pressure in the stairway.
Nursey finally coming up to 100% here, so we're going to see probably push as they're trying to figure out where they want to go. Looks like they're going to go underneath.
Feint and Muma getting some nice picks there as Sizz and Kresnik go down. Two very big classes. The solo Uber coming in on Jared. Are they going to be able to do anything about this? And some nice plays, nice sticky. Is Nursey going to go? Nursey goes down. Yosh takes down Etney as well. Big picks coming in for Bote right now.
And the big thing is that Justin came still alive throughout all of that, actually down to 90 HP, so just taking a little bit of damage as Jared's just trying to do a little bit of poking, but not enough to be able to do anything, and Jufro actually cleans up that frag, and we are sitting at a pretty decent time. We probably already are at the 7-minute mark here, as Justin's now got 25% Uber advantage.
Yeah, and there it is. Storm trying to get some time on the cart, but this is where Bote wants to be. This is a comfortable hold for them. It's familiar, and they can play it very safe and keep an eye on that cart. And just let their flank do what they've been doing all game, putting some really decent pressure on, letting Bobby and Jufro have their space, and letting Geosis just kind of take care of those threats that are approaching them. A flood of players right now coming in from the stairs, trying to get pressure. They do get the force on Justin. That's a big play, and it is going to lead to a huge advantage for Nursey.KND.
Yeah, and smart play out of them is once they did get the force, they try to peek, try to do something interesting with that Uber, realized the medic was so far back it wasn't worth it, didn't overextend, and kind of go back to holding the cart as Nursey is getting ready to push with this Uber through main.
Yosh does go down there. Nice pressure by Ender, not letting them get back into that spot. They are going to force it up here. The Uber is out. Jufro taking down Storm Arian, but not going to be enough. And they are going to take this upper area, and Brick will go down. This is the kind of frags that we saw at the end of last game. Trying to get stuff done, but just too much pressure on the cart as 8 minutes, 16 seconds, the final time for KND.
And also, just to note, the longest capture. Longest time set of all the game.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you're seeing a game where these teams aren't getting the holds they want on every point. They're not getting that. They got a solid first hold, no hold on second, very little hold on third, and a final hold on last that really kind of saved them. I mean, if we see KND really get into one of their strong holds, really solidify that third hold, that last hold, I mean, that could be the game. 8 minutes is really not a terribly bad time for KND.
But I mean, given the rate of speed here, I mean, KND obviously definitely have to be on point, and they can definitely hold it out. But I mean, almost today it's a little bit slow. I don't want to say it's super slow, but it definitely is doable for Bote to be able to capture this and take the first game off of KND in the season.
Yeah, and we are going to see a throwback to the classic engineering play. Everything looking like it's going back to the standard. All of the crazy unlocks thrown away. Level 3 sentries back out. You know, they're going for the gold here. They want a good hold on every point. And they're going to go with, the least sketchy, loadouts of any half so far.
And so far, just some poking out of the Devilman and Soldier, trying to see if they can be able to get anything. Both of them not really getting anything for their troubles as the Devilman actually, Muma trying to do something cute here. Again, the base jumper, we've been seeing it trying to be used, but not to any success currently as Yosh goes down early to Scissor, but he's going to be back up not too long from now as it's just kind of just jostling for car position right now.
Yeah, Bote knows they do have to be aggressive. They saw how KND got held up on this first point, and they don't want that to happen to them. They want to have as much time as they can. Yosh coming in with a great pick on Kresnik. That's going to loosen it up a little. Overall, though, Muma just getting hammered by Satan every time he tries to get that extra little bit of damage. You've got to wonder, I mean, if he's learning from that. Sizz is taking down Yosh on that 3-killing spree. Overall, nice work. Brick getting very far in, but finally taken down by the sentry gun by Highlander.
Yeah, and actually Bobby had a nice play over the top onto the playground area, if you want to call it that. And it's getting some nice pressure onto the combo. Wasn't enough. Actually, just as I say that, Muma with the 2K on the course, and Jarrett's no Devilman on the defense here, as it looks like they want to push in off this. Uber does come out early for the defensive side. On his Satan, it's a little bit aggressive. I think they just used that to suicide Satan to get Nursey out alive. But as I say that, Muma comes in over the top, gets one sticky onto Nursey, popping back up into the air, trying to get another sticky, and he lands it! That is a kill. Nice pick onto the medic. Muma going ham there. And that might be enough for the Bote to push over the top here.
Yeah, crazy stickies there from Muma. That invite level aim just coming in huge there as he lands those 2 critical shots onto Nursey and probably won his team at least positioning for the second point.
Yeah, we can already see KND backing off.
Yeah, they know really what their strength lies in, and it's this third hold. It's what won them semifinals, and it's arguably what won them finals. So, you know, they're getting into that comfortable hold, but Bote doing an incredible job of just pressuring them out. Muma still on that base jumper.
Yeah, and Yosh had nice 2 picks there on the scout and on the sniper. So again, once he gets that sniper pick, it's so much more comfortable feeling. You can peek so much more freely here. As Yosh is just doing a little bit of peeking, trying to see if he can be able to get anything. As Justin's sitting at a nice Uber advantage, and as we get our next pause of the game.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate there. Pause coming in. Again, it's in the future, so it might be in a pretty critical position, but we'll see if it is link user again or if it's some other issue. I'll be on that. Meanwhile, Sigafoo, just let me know. Why don't you go ahead and do some analysis? Sorry, I'm investigating here.
Investigate from here? Well, you know, that final play, so the pick on Nursey was pretty good because obviously it allowed Bote to be able to push through the second point pretty quickly. But the unfortunate part about having Nursey, your medic, be picked so early in the process of pushing is that your cart's so far back that it allows, now they have a nice third setup here. So they already have a level 2 gun, just about to be a level 3. They have a dispenser up, combos holding. So even though they're at this uber disadvantage, even though they did lose the second point fairly quickly, it did allow them to get very set up on this third point when it comes to upward, which the third point on upward is very important. And so some interesting things you'll see the way that KND likes to play this. You'll see eXtv up here, very close to the corner. What he likes to do is kind of hold very close or on this platform, on this house on the left-hand side, and he will just kind of spam down rockets onto the cart to try to slow down those pushers. You'll see Kresnik will tend to play the heavy on that platform on the right-hand side, kind of in that little corridor, the C, if you want to call it that. And it's going to peek around there and get damage. And that's one thing Bote's been doing really, really well this game, is that whenever Kresnik, I'm going to try to call him that because we have another Bobby in this game. Whenever Kresnik kind of peeks in that corner, they're focusing him down very quickly because Kresnik is one of the best heavies, if not the best heavy in the game right now, and with lethal aim. And if you let him flank for free, it will do absolutely crazy damage. And they've been doing a really good job of focusing him. And taking out eXtv and Kresnik sets up that opportunity for you to push through this third point. And that's what Bote's been doing most of this game.
Yeah, I mean, each heavy kind of has their own way that I've seen of them playing it. Brick, attacking, often likes to kind of go through this, for lack of a better term, shithouse on this right side. Kresnik holding that top area. Carl, I don't actually really know what he does, but, you know, often a pretty ingenious mind. He was in charge of orchestrating that second hold that we've seen in High Plat. But, you know, each High Plat team kind of has their own way of holding, and KND's has worked for them, but Bote has seemed to find the magic bullet this game and has broken it pretty easily in both halves.
Yeah. and it'll be interesting to see how this, they do have the Uber advantage, so how quickly are they going to use this? You don't want to push too quickly, as you kind of spoke to last round. You don't want to push too quickly with Uber when it comes to this third point. It seems like you really want to, because you're like, Uber advantage, yeah, we got to use it. And I mean, they do have a kind of a small window, but also pushing too quickly with your Uber advantage is going to leave that objective so far behind that it actually won't actually work out for you in the end, because you can't hold ground while the cart's being pushed up.
All right, I've done my investigating, and reason for pause is actually Storm's ping skyrocketed to kind of unplayable, so they were down a man and decided to pause the game. So we will probably see that going into this. You can see if you press tab, scoreboard, he is at 456, so pretty ridiculous amounts of ping. Understandable pause for KND.
Yeah, Scissors also sitting at 250 himself, so definitely some of the pick classes for KND. Just gonna have to wait that ping out, and then we'll continue our play. But yeah, I mean, this is coming down to it. I mean, this is what we wanted. I mean, for an opening game of the season,
this is about
the
as good as it gets. Yeah. I mean, we saw some really amazing games on Upward last season between MTS and KND, as well as between, I believe, MTS and Hateful Eight, I think. Overall, really exciting games. This map has lent itself really well to Highlander. Pretty understandable why it's come back season after season as a staple map. And as you said, really can't ask for any more for a first game of the season. Defending champions, pride on the line, as well as the 1-0 record going into week 2.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be really interesting to see kind of the headlines. And we had Guinea Hoops playing DK, just a little bit earlier. DK taking that 2-0, and a lot of people did a lot of hype around Guinea Hoops because of all the big names. You got Stab, you got Max, Huey, kind of all these different, Paragon, all these different people, and kind of losing their first game. And it'll be kind of interesting to see kind of what the talk of the town is after this first week, with Bote picking up a round, maybe 2, maybe beating KND, Guinea Hoops losing 0-2 as we're kind of starting out this season. But yeah, here we go.
And the unpause is coming in here. Bote just working into this second point, trying to get some pressure early. Bobby in a very interesting position, holding this upper. As you mentioned, their normal hold, they are shifted about a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of a sneaky heavy play. Nobody has spotted him yet.
Yeah. Bobby does go down to Kresnik, so he is spotted out. Justin, time goes down to him. Huge play by Kresnik, and that is going to pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, go ahead.
Just saying that the whole combo of Bote is down right now. Good plays by KND to kind of hold on to this third point. And I am going to reload my thing so I can see the timer.
Yeah, so about 4 minutes and 47 seconds left on the clock right now, as Nursey's sitting at 100% Uber, about 80% advantage, slowly dwindling away here, as Bote's finally just starting to get to the front lines again. Fink does go down, so I'm sorry, did he go down? Yes, he did. So just kind of holding on to this as they're just kind of resetting. Muma's trying to get aggressive here, but actually, again, we talked about the heavy location in that C area. Picks him off right away. Scissors takes down Jufro, and then gets traded off with Yosh. So Yosh is going to have a little bit of free range here for the next about 10-15 seconds to be able to get some picks here as the team's working him up and trying to push this cart.
Yeah, and they know that Yosh is free. They're trying to get as much spam as they can on him, and he is going to get out with 9 health and live to snipe another day.
Yeah, and the important thing here is KND has nobody nearby the cart currently. Jarrett will come up and kind of contest it. I guess they do have the spy, but this is where you want to try to get that free capture time here. And just as here comes the Uber, comes out on the blue side. Actually, Muma gets pushed up, way up, as Nursey now pops counter Ubered as the gun does get stacked, but it's a little bit off on the timing there, as Justin's going to be able to get out a little more than likely, but this exchange goes much heavier in the favor of KND, but the cart now is very, very close for this final capture.
Yeah, Bote doing a nice job of getting a little bit of cart time. Another unsuccessful Uber, but they do have a little bit of time to play with. They have 3.5 minutes. They're getting some good damage in on the combo, opening up some space. Satan looking to go in, is kind of pushed back, but does do some great damage and leads to the pick on Brick.
Jarrett just got pushed off by the pipe thing. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened. Loose cannon. He just got pushed off the cliff. That's a huge pick right there.
And Fate takes down Kresnik. 2 more big picks. The combo class destroyed right now. Sizz trying to get a pick. It's very important, but oh, Yosh takes him down. The domination is there. Bomb coming in on the cart, but again, a little bit of an iffy play. Oh, the rockets are on to Justin, and he does get out with 73 health. Nice jukes by Justin there, and it is going to come down to whether or not they can get this cap. They are going for frags, but they have some pretty key classes down right now. I'm surprised they're not just pushing the cart.
Yeah, they really should be going for cart here, but as I say, here comes the Uber off. Yep, and the gun is going to go down. They're going to force this out, actually, but Kresnik in a pretty sneaky position, but he does only take down 1 with his life there. They're going to capture the cart. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock here. This is basically the position KND was on offense last time. Bote now in the exact same position here. Can they push into this final area? KND now basically set up a level 1 sentry, slowly going up here, as looks like Bote is slowly taking over this upper area with Brick.
Yeah, this, not... In a normal game, I would say they're kind of pushing it to the wire, but this is looking very dangerous. If KND can get one really good defense and a reset, it might be the game for both. So they have to be very careful. Justin playing very safe. Yosh goes down to Sizz. I mean, the picks right now, Yosh needs to stay up and just apply that pressure to KND.
And Nursey also has a decent Uber advantage. Not going to use it aggressively here, but also got to be careful, I guess, to not expose yourself to let them use it aggressively. As Muma just kind of peeking around this corner, trying to get some spam down as almost the entire combo is holding so close. And as I say that, Satan actually gets pushed into the pit by a rocket. And Yosh taking down Scissors. So again, sniper advantage for Bote here. It's been happening pretty much all game. And now we'll see if Yosh is able to use that. But actually, just as I say that, Andy takes down Yosh.
Yeah, Feint looking to try and get a play on the combo, but cannot quite get it there. Both teams going in with 100% Uber. Ubers are popped by both teams. Satan trying to get to the front, trying to do that damage that he's been doing to Muma. Cannot quite get it. Satan taking tons of damage. Is he going to get it? He does not end up getting the frag. And right now, Bote with a little bit of a numbers advantage. Yosh taking down Etney and Storm. 2 nice additional picks, just dwindling the numbers for KND and getting those huge spawn timers started for.
Yeah, and actually, Etney went down there. I'm sorry, not Etney, but Just in Time went down there, so that does reset the Uber advantage, but with so little time on the clock, there isn't a lot left going on. 30 seconds on the clock.
Oh my god, Feint!
Feint with a huge plate.
Is this
coming down on the car? Are they going to be able to do it? Yes, they are!
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Bote takes the win. Huge plays coming in there at the end by Feint, getting the double stab onto Nursey and destroying the combo. And all of KND just melted at the last second as Bote takes the win. Huge plays there. What an exciting finale, and what a great week 1, Sigafoo.
Absolutely. I honestly, I did not think Bote had a chance coming into that final push, but, we talked about it all game. The thing that has separated Bote in this game is individuals stepping up in the moment, and it's happened every single round, particularly with Yosh and Feint. Their pick classes, they've been doing it all game. Everybody on Bote has been consistent, but their pick classes have really stepped it up. It came together on that final push. Amazing, amazing game. Bote absolutely deserves this win. And knock on the door. Bote's looking to challenge this title.
Yeah, and again, we need to look at these logs. We saw the plays at the end there, but oh my goodness, the assassin classes for Bote coming in huge. And Bobby and Jufro doing a nice job holding down the flank, not putting up incredible numbers. Muma doing an awesome job picking up 17 frags. Sizz even kind of turned it on that last round, but Bote still held it together. I'm really, really surprised to see that round go that way, looking at the numbers that Sizz put up.
Yeah, I think one big difference, just as we're kind of talking about the kind of different classes and whatnot, is that Feint, I think there's a different style between Feint and Storm, where I think Feint definitely is more goes for the picks, goes for the plays, goes for the shots, where Storm is more of a calming spy. But I definitely think that might have been the difference this game, whereas Storm got 7 picks, Feint with 14, and a couple of those coming in just the crucial situation there at the end. Yeah. Overall, I mean, Scissor, obviously, he came back. He started out the game pretty poor. Came back here only 4 frags down. But yeah, it was pretty close overall, stats-wise.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's interesting to look at is just, the med picks for Bote. Taking down Nursey, 5 times between 2 classes, and that's just Yosh and Feint. Yosh getting those 3 back-to-back-to-back headshots onto Nursey while they were holding that defense and getting that huge time on first. You know, that was a game-changing series of events. It allowed them to get a huge hold on first and, you know, kind of alleviate some of that stress that they were feeling in the final round.
Yeah, kind of one of the interesting things, too, is I think that a couple different players, you know, we kind of talked about players that from Bote that stood up, but definitely, I mean, I think Scissors kind of got back to on form, but Kresnik definitely got better throughout the game as well, whereas he started off kind of poor. Brick was top fragging, or sorry, top damaging almost in the first round, whereas now he's kind of at the bottom of the scoreboard, and Kresnik stepping up. So definitely KND, you know, a lot of their players kind of fluctuated throughout these rounds, but ultimately Bote's the one who came together to be able to secure this 2-1 over KND.
And I'm going to go ahead and I asked eXtime, haven't gotten an answer, but we're getting some word that we might have some interview action here at the end. Just kind of getting the feedback from Bote after a big win like that. If it's all right, we're gonna have Muma, Justin, and Brick, the combo for Bote, coming in here to give us a few words. So I'm giving them the info now. They should be in the next few minutes.
Yeah, so just to kind of, I'm kind of curious about what happened. I want to curious about the different matches as we're kind of slowly streaming in here, getting some post-game interviews. I know DK won over Ginyu. Does anybody know about any of the other matches? Please toss them out in chat. Let us know as we're kind of waiting for Brick and Muma and Justin to get in here.
Yeah, while we're waiting, you know, just more excitement for this season. Gonna go ahead and pitch a few things that I think are really important. First of all, you know, we love Highlander here on eXtv, but we also really love Sixes. And something that I am totally for and will be donating myself is getting those 2 teams. I believe it's not Elevate, it's Ascent and Froyo Tech to land. If somebody could go ahead and pitch those in chat, the donation links. We would love to have 2 American teams represented at I-55. Banny, of course, and many other players from the invite scene making their way into Highlander, and we'd also love to show our support for our brother game mode in Sixes. Yeah, thank you so much, eXtime. And of course, a shout out that we definitely have to give, as always, when we are here having the privilege to cast on eXtv. Thank you, eXtime, for all the work you do. Make sure to check out his Patreon campaign, as well as watch his YouTube video and subscribe to the Twitch channel so that you can check out all your Highlander, Sixes, and TF2 action. But, you know, what everybody really wants to hear, the interview, the upset teams, the 20-1 odds overcoming that, impressive as always. Welcome, Justin, Muma, and Brick.
Great to be here. Hello.
I mean, obviously, we are excited. We watched a great game. What are you guys' emotions coming in after, you know, upsetting current Plat champions KND?
We knew going into this that our chances were much better than 21 because all of our scrims so far, going against the teams that DK or that KND have played, have been really even, with like pretty much destroying teams that were mid-plat last season, as well as doing really well against DK. Our pregame, we had DK, went 1-1 with them. We held last for a really long time. Earlier in the week as well, there was 2 instances where we were spawn camping them and doing a lot of work there. So we felt going into this game that we had a really good chance despite the odds that were stacked against us. And every single half we just kept telling ourselves it's 0-0. You know, there's no points, so we gotta go in this, we gotta be calm, we gotta be relaxed, and just do what we do best, which is play off of Muma's calls and keep Justin alive.
Alright, next question. This one's actually going to be directed at Muma. For those of you who don't know, there was a little bit of drama on Bote last season that resulted in him not finishing out the season, but he is back this season, and, you know, Sigafoo and I both commented on this earlier. It just looks like a totally new Muma. Somebody who's not throwing his life away, you know, at the wrong times, getting tons of damage that we saw last season, but, you know, getting the plays when they count. That huge bomb onto Nursey on second. I mean, great play. Muma, how does it feel to be kind of back in Highlander and, you know, winning an upset game and starting your season off right?
Awful. No, not really. It's, I don't know. I'm glad to be back. I'm not too excited over that win, because, you know, it's just regular season. It's nice to finally, like, see them lose, but can't think much of it.
Yeah, you know, eyes on the prize in playoffs, of course, but, you know, it's a good omen for you guys, especially with kind of some historic performances. And speaking of that, just in time kind of has had a curse with the 4th place finishes. Justin, do you feel like this is your season? This is your time to make it on that podium or get that 1st place?
It might be. It might be. I mean, I'll be honest that I was hesitant to play at the start of this season, and Brick and the rest of the team convinced me to come back for one more season with the team, and I didn't know what to expect. You know, we had some new flank players, a new sniper, and we were still kind of meshing as a team, so I went into this match not knowing what to expect, but yeah, it went amazingly. 3 close halves, great plays all around. It was a lot of fun.
The best part was, like, everybody listened, and then everybody fed each other the right information. So all of our pushes were very well coordinated. Last season, we had the issue where we could not push it to 3rd because we didn't have that coordination. And something that we found out this season that worked really well was that we would just have Muma and Geosis go straight in with the Uber on 3rd, right into them, and then we would try to get our flank into the left side, which we call U, which is where the drop down is, and then I would go into the shit house on the far right side to kind of flank them, and then our sniper and engineer would push the cart, and then I would try to go back to the carts or forward depending on how our Uber exchange went. And we did that for, you know, all 3 times, and it felt like it worked every single time.
Yeah, you guys did seem to kind of find that magic bullet. I mean, last season we were seeing teams getting stalled out on that 3rd point for so long, and I mean, this game we were seeing all sub 830 times from every team. So, you know, obviously something's changed. You know, somebody's found out the magic way of doing it, and it seems like you guys did. But you know, a lot of people might be thinking out there, and I know it from chat, but you know, a lot of people might be saying, "Oh, this was a fluke." You know, Bote got this one, but you know, KND still a better team. What makes Bote different from the Bote that finished, you know, 4th last season? What is different about this iteration of Muma and the Seaman or Bote team?
Wasn't KND a flank the last 2 seasons in a row?
Oh, sorry, excuse me?
Well, he said, like, this was a fluke that we won this game despite all 3 halves being extremely close, so...
Yeah, I mean...
I'm just going to counter-argue with saying, when those same people said that KND won by flukes 2 seasons in a row?
It could be argued that, you know, the double repeat is something that speaks a little, you know, pretty loudly. But, you know, Brick, you're back this season. Justin's back this season. Muma's back this season. Geosis is back this season. You know, what has really clicked for you guys? What has made you the top plat contender that you are right now?
Well, we cut Corsa, and Corsa joined KND, so now KND is cursed with the Corsas.
Yeah, clearly, I mean, Corsa was just bringing us down as a team. was all Corsa's fault. No, I'm kidding. Corsa's a great sniper and a great scout, but I mean, we have a whole new flank, and our flank with Bobby and Jufro, they have a lot of Highlander experience, and they were able to very quickly come in and follow Muma's calls, and it's great having a flank that has great AM and a lot of Highlander experience, which it really helps. So.
The previous season, we didn't have, like, when Muma first started, he wasn't confident in himself with calling, and then, like, this season, even though we've only been playing who can actually main call, like, that's all we needed last season, was somebody who can main call.
Like, this is the second season of Bote, but this is also really the second season of me actually taking Highlander seriously, so I've actually put some, like, more time into it besides just scrimming, and, like, actually am paying attention to the Highlander meta so I can be the main caller that my team needs.
Yeah, and we really saw that today, especially, one of the big things that Sigafoo and I both, were commenting constantly on, and we even forgot kind of the name of it at one point, the loose cannon we saw out of you that we really haven't seen out of any other demos on this map. I mean, what makes it an appealing weapon for you, and what made you switch from pipes?
Well, it's really different. It completely changes the style of how you have to play Demo Man in Highlander, which is why I only run it in Highlander and not sixes. I have to always have someone with me take Ubers, and it's really just good for spam. Like, I can put up sticky traps and just spam them with it, and you see, like, all kinds of crazy, stupid kills happen that shouldn't be happening just from spamming it mindlessly.
Yeah, and including that force onto Nursey on first, which, pressured him out way earlier than expected. So,
yeah, like, I didn't even realize that I had forced him right there. That was just me spamming it mindlessly and then going, oh, look, he popped, cool.
But I am all out of questions. Sigafoo, you got anything for him?
No, I think you guys covered it. It was a great game to cast and to watch, and yeah, I'm excited to see how you guys do throughout the season.
Yeah, really exciting to see you guys do so well. Awesome performances by both teams. Great to see the upset early in the season, and best of luck to Bote team and KND. Any shout-outs you guys have before we sign off? Rick?
Just a shout out to KND for being good sports and not really complaining, even though Storm Arion was playing with a 300 plus ping for most of the match.
Shoutouts to Geosis for being the best player to ever play TF2 ever.
Justin?
Yeah, I mean, they covered the main ones. Shout out to KND, being patient, especially Storm. Shout out to Link User for making the switch over to NG and proving to be a top tier NG from the start, so big shout out to him.
Yeah, he took one for the team.
Yeah. And again, pretty interesting to see him make that move, joining Sigafoo and myself as,
Shout
kind
out to
of
the Bote Motivator Sam.
Bote Motivator Sam, thank you. I'm going to throw out my last few shout-outs. Shout out to everybody who helped out with the HL draft now that that's over. Spyro and Demento, you guys are the best. Shout out to Bote team. I love you guys. I know that I can't really put as much time into it as I would have loved to, but you guys are doing fantastic. And of course, shout out to my co-caster Sigafoo for having a lot of fun tonight. And of course, eXtv as always.
Beautiful. All right. Yeah. Sorry. So I guess I'm sorry. I wasn't sure what to do there. Thank you guys all for coming out here tonight. Give some love out to Eckstein for casting us and doing the cameraman work. And I will see you guys next time.